Hi guys, I last month introduced Lenormand readings for February, March, and this month I'm going to do March and April for Gypsy. Some believe that Gypsy cards are actually the evolution of Lenormand cards. There are actually 52 cards in a deck versus 36 in regular Lenormand deck. So I'm going to do the grand tableau with all the cards on the table, where it's going to give us a whole bunch of situation and kind of possibilities. And it could be your story. It doesn't have to be your story because the energies are here from everybody who are actually viewing. So just keep in mind that the cards have their individual meanings, but interpretation of the cards in this big spread requires a deep understanding of how adjacent or associated cards influence the interpretation. Also, guys, take advantage of the two promotions, annual Taroscopes and right now it's a great time. They're right now on sale, so you're getting one sign for $10 and all signs for 20, so you can check somebody else, or you could check your ascendant and Venus sign and Mars sign. So this is a great opportunity. But the best part of my special is my speed up promotion, so you are not waiting 3 weeks anymore for the readings. So I'm actually upgrading whatever the term was before, so 3 weeks is now 1 week, so becoming a rush reading, and the rush reading, which was week, is now 3 days. And if you really want an urgent reading, you're going to get it within 24 hours, and if you're North America, most likely the same day. So guys, check my website www.cattarot.ca for more information. You can also find me on Instagram and on Facebook, where I actually also publish daily Taroscopes. So let's jump in. Hi Virgo, welcome to your March-April Gypsy spread. So I'm doing Gypsy because Gypsy is sort of like different from Lenormand. Not only that is evolution, as I said, but as you can see, they are all people. Most of them are people with just few things, death, but that person has to die as well. These are emotions. And when people are asking me for a reading, very often I have to tell you the question is going to be, hey, what does he think about me? Does she really love me for me, or is she after my money? Sort of kind of like questions that I get. So this kind of like sometimes really gives me a good insight. And you have seen me before using this card as a clarification for tarot cards. So I can give you different storylines here. This is very general because I really have to feel that energy, which is a common denominator for all Virgos right now. And even Virgos are sort of like common denominator to start with. So everything can be you, nothing can be you. But just keep in mind that if I'm doing this individually, it's going to be right on. So let me start with explaining. We have few significators. You have to figure out which one is yours. We have the sweetheart, we have lover, we have lord, and we have wife, or a woman with children. Anyone can be you. I mean, I can be lord. So technically a sweetheart should be a single woman or somebody who is looking for somebody. Lover, also single guy, kind of like on a prowl. The wife would be somebody in a relationship, and a lord would be somebody in a relationship or a professional guy, or the wife can be a person with children. So let me start. First and foremost, the very first card that came out, it's like haughtiness, and haughtiness shows this like beautiful peacock, right? And this is kind of like a really interesting card because, as I told you, there are lots of people here with few kind of concepts, and here we have this beautiful peacock, the pride, right? And it is definitely talking about some kind of attitude, possible attitude of superiority, right? Or maybe even vanity, right? So it is definitely connecting some of you over here, and maybe you are going to be too hot to trot. Maybe you're going to be so noticed that it's going to be few suitors over here. Definitely see somebody trying to be with you, somebody actually who is jealous over certain things that are happening, and maybe they have been with somebody else because they see this lover right next to an old lady. Maybe they have had a couple of parallel relationships, and so you definitely have this option to choose, right? But I am thinking, given that the death card is here, the house card is here, right, that you're going to just like, you're not feeling that you really want to be with this person. Some of you may be relocating because the house is reversed and the death is right next to it. Be very careful if you're relocating that somebody kind of like sells you something, you know, sort of like some kind of bad advice kind of given to you, because somebody might just like take your deposit and just run with it, because we have bad advice, a thief, and a misfortune, and somebody running away with the money. Very, very, very careful if you're like investing something, and keep in mind Mercury retrograde, not a good time for investment unless you already have a fund which kind of goes into it like regularly. That's the key, because somebody here is in a really good position, but somebody here is very jealous. So just like keep in mind that sort of like humility should be the key over here. But at the same time, I'm seeing here a person who feels, and like kind of like you pat yourself on the shoulder, like, you know, like we sometimes, the archetypes that we see sometimes come in black and white flavors, right? So also can be seen kind of getting rid of someone and saying to yourself, hey, I did okay. I did come out of it. Sure, this whole situation looks like it was even loss of money, and kind of like feeling that the fortune is not on your side. It's a loss. But you're like still saying there are still things in the situation that are working for you. And there are. So it's going to be temporarily dip in fortunes. I see that. But then things are going to start to work out. You might have a help from another woman. You might even get some kind of gifts, guys. And something that's going to really kind of like help you resolve certain situations. Because look at here. You have sweetheart. Then you have death. Then you have the thief. Then you have these haughtiness. Pardon me, the frivolity, and the pleasure seekers. It's like from bad to worse kind of a thing, right? So there is like some level over here of things that are not doing well. But, you know, also there is like this line that can happen. So what is basically telling me here that you're like fed up not only with a person, but with something that is inside of you. You want to make a big fundamental change. If this means burn the old system to the ground, like everything that you believe that you are, that you have to be, so be it. Because look, this is the center of the reading. We have the wedding, we have the priest. And yet, the wedding and the prison, marriage and the prison are almost the same card. Of course, I'm Aquarius, right? So you can tell that, you know, we don't like to be kind of like tied down with, you know, I would never allow somebody to put a ring on me, because that's just like remnants of putting the chain around your neck from kind of like Neanderthal era. But the prison card definitely talks about marriage, or kind of like feeling constrained with a package deal. So getting out of something is not working. Certain things, certain freedoms are going to start to kind of like bubble up. What I see in this time period, guys, that many of you are going to be facing your deepest fears and your highest hopes. Everything will be on the table. Every single stone will get unturned. You will maybe start to feel some past wrongs. You know how sometimes we go into this melancholy stage, we think about our exes, and then why in the world this happened? but there is the hope that is happening. You guys are going to find somebody. You have the Doctor card here. Because the Despair card is here, I really hope that you are not suicidal, or if you are, you're going to look for help. Some of you can really feel lost in a situation, but it's going to be lost and found because the hope is here. And not only hope, but I really like when two cards like these two cards come together, because hope and constancy means, okay, it's not only hope. Hope is like you wake up and say, okay, today I'm going to lose weight, let's say. But then by the night you already had a cake and the hope is gone. Constancy also gives you strength, knowing that you will and feel that you will continue. Because what's the difference between A, weight loss, and B, weight loss? One person is there because of the wrong reasons. Another person is there for a long haul. So which one is going to succeed? Maybe both of them, but it's not going to be permanent for the person A as long as it doesn't sink in. And this is this card of sinking in. Certain things are going to kind of happen in a good way. Certain things are going to start to fade away, and it looks like you are going to be going through the worst impact, but at the same time the shift is going to happen at the same time for you guys. So then I have this wife and I have the Lord in the same trajectory. Somebody here has somebody on the side, guys. Definitely it's a third party situation, and it could be a long distance situation. Somebody is shopping around for a possible new partner. The other person is like very much in love, but this couple that is supposed to be married, sort of at this stage, I would say they are separated, and they're not even trying to go further in kind of like reunion, because the reunion card is all the way here. But I see that one partner simply has this like big heart and willingness to go further, but this is sort of like blocked, and this is like sort of like to be continued because it's coming in a corner over here. The Lord card over here is talking about, I really don't want to hear anything from anybody. There is like no communication. This person is going in their own direction, and there is somebody in their life. It could be like really that every person has somebody on the side, because the wife has an enemy. An enemy actually can be that partner from the past coming back, so an ex. But there is like this huge wall that has been built because it looks like it was a third party. And this third party shows over here. It could be somebody who was a family friend, or a friend of a person that was not kind of like seen as, let's say, a threat. That person could have been somebody long distance. We have the 2 card, and maybe they maintain a long distance relationship. You know how we have this from Facebook love and coming from out of nowhere, because something happened from out of nowhere, and something happened. This is not something new. Like this person went, you know how people sometimes cheat and they go out and find somebody, they get laid, and so on and so forth. No, here it was a friendship between the people, and that friendship was there for a while, and it happened. And hence that's why it stings, because kind of like like somebody got blindsided with a situation. Now with this, I cannot really see what the ending is over here, but I see that it's going to be lots of positioning and repositioning. Unfortunately, it's not going to be movement toward, like, looks like almost like one partner will really try to get out, right? Out. Definitely toward this new person. But even that's not going to work out. There is like this falseness. They don't even know who they are in order to give themselves to somebody else. So I can see totally 2, boats in the dark passing by, because if you don't have conversation, if you don't have some solution, some way of coming out, then it's like kind of like not really possible to kind of like further this out. So now we have this melody next to this. So of course it can be kind of like some kind of depression or weakened state, or simply a burden and inability or unwillingness to cope with the situation. But some of you will really feel this betrayal and injustice in love, and possibly kind of suffering for sure, right? Because you're going to say, and you're going to put your foot down, hey, you either are in my life or you're not. But one thing is for sure, I do love you and I do want to make this work, right? But like some of you getting really, really physically worn down. So Virgo, you need to take care of your health, which is kind of like should be first and foremost, because of course, Melody, when you tell us to Virgo, like I think you're already running to open the kitchen cabinets and getting your vitamins out. And I definitely would recommend kind of like enforcing your health routine. Be also very careful that this person is very shallow, and maybe this is something you didn't take in account. So maybe you have to ask yourself, what is it you really love, right? Is this just basically that you want this person because of fear of loneliness, maybe the suffering of isolation, or because we have the prison, some kind of confinement, that you feel that, you know, your family is going to kind of take this badly, etc., right? So it's going to be really lots of positioning, trying to figure out who are the people who can help you, what works, what doesn't work, and simply really feeling as being betrayed. And I can totally see that, especially if you're a wife and somebody just brings some old friend, and all of a sudden they are doing sailing, somebody reconnected on the Facebook 10 years later, like, I mean, they're like messing up with your life. So having said that, it's going to be really a month where you will have to get in touch with who you are, with yourself, with who your friends are, with who your enemies are. And it's almost like it's going to be harder for some of you. Those of you who are going through possible separation, for those of you it's going to be hard. For those of you who are like playing the field, oh my God, some of you though, especially if you guys, will be very jealous. The others of you will just go nuts. The best solution is going to be this person who is kind of facing all the fears and turning every stone and saying, I'm cleaning the house. I'm Virgo. I'm not just talking about physically scrubbing the tables. I'm talking about getting rid of everything that did not work for me. And I'm going to kill it, and I'm going to minimize any possibility for that to repeat. So Virgos, I hope that some of that resonated. I really hope you're going to give me thumbs up, subscribe, and like. And your comments are always great. So I would like to see what you have to say. Do you want me to continue this Gypsy? And if kind of like this was a similar situation to yours. And to get your own private reading, please contact me via www.cattarot.ca. And you can also find me on Instagram and Facebook, and we can go from there. And until the next time, Libra, pardon me, Libra, boy, this is Freudian slip. So it must be that we have somebody there who is connected to Libra. No. Until the next time, my Virgos, I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you.